What's good, YouTube, and welcome to the house. As with any YCS weekend, things are going to get shaken up, prices are going to go up, other things are going to plummet, so let's just go ahead and jump into it, starting with Bryonic Dragon of the Ice Barrier. I'm actually kind of surprised the DT is staying here at a lower price versus, you know, we saw it all the way up to 60 in the Fallout, because almost every single other version is up here towards $20 freaking on TCG Player. Hey, we have the good old super rare from the special editions at 15 there. Nice. So it really begs the question, what's going to happen with Bryonic? What will the fallout be? I think, and we'll talk about Necros in a bit too, I think the Bryonics can be played in so many decks thanks to cards like this Strudo or Psychic Wielder. There's just so many options for it, and it's still a really good card despite the errata. And we look over on eBay, and the fallout's a lot quicker. I mean, you already have the Canadian one left that you can get. You have $14 ones. So my thought is we'll see it fall out. Maybe in the meantime, people will try to rebuy out this one because it seems so close, but there is a 5% kickback on TCG Player for direct sales right now. So people are going to be buying out cards on TCG Player a lot faster because of that small discount, and eventually the discount doesn't matter because so many things get bought out. My opinion, Bryonic, really good card. I would have one, but I would think that it's gonna fall back out in pricing eBay currently. Thunder Dragons, you underperform at one event and start to deflate just a little. Down about $4 towards the 50 we peaked in on last time. It says market price 52, but they were selling for about 50. Yikes, over here I see a brand new one. I checked the listing, brand new one at $41 before we see 45 and we see it go back towards 50, but still people kind of fleeing from this just with one underperformance. Oh, the meme lives. Apparently it got second at YCS number 2 in Dusseldorf, but seriously, I still think it's an amazing deck. It still performs very well, and even with Solomon Greats being kind of the edge up on this matchup, I still see it being a part of the metagame and what a lot of people are going to play. But when such a wide played deck coming out of a structure deck has a edge in the matchup, yeah, I could see why it's starting to fall, even though it's my personal choice on what I'm playing this format. Trap Trick still standing up here, and I just wanted to kind of scroll through and note, Orca stuff is getting hyped before Dane, before Dark Neostorm. That's whatever I mean when I say Dane, it's not just some guy's name. And Orcust is supposed to get only stronger from here out. You might want to get yours sooner than later if you're looking at the deck, because there's going to be hype swirling around it in several places, so you can bet when the release is about to happen, things are going to respike just a little bit. Oh, Galaxy Eyes Dark Matter Dragon has been staying up at its newer price, it would seem, but one thing to note, Ready for Duel has a combo out, and it's just any 2 8s, ends in this with the Guard Dragon engine. Guard Dragon's really strengthening, actually, Blue Eyes. We've seen it topping the regionals, etc., and I think one topped this weekend at the YCS, so congratulations. And we see this insane combo, and if you're willing to play bricks, quote unquote, like Goliath and Arc Brave, this kind of stuff will be needed. So Goliath only has one printing to note, never got a reprint, very low quantities. If you're interested in this and you didn't for some reason have the Arc Brave engine as a Goo Eyes player, you might want to go ahead and peek in. And also Pendulum players, Sloth only has its one printing still, but relatively cheap. And the Turf Gaming gotta hype the negates, not the floodgates. I do like that though. Arc Brave Dragon, also here under $2, but only one printing, 16 prices. They're almost gone, so do consider both of these things if you're interested in the deck sooner than later. Necros, yes, let's talk about it. It's actually plummeting. People want me to talk about this, and they don't get it. Hey, all the monsters were announced for dual power. They said all-encompassing for the ritual monsters. So, we'll be getting Valkyrus and Bryonic and Trishula, assumedly, and that's why they're not holding up in price. That's why they're going back down in price. Yes, the secrets will be more coveted than the ultra rares. The originals will maintain some kind of value, but the reason they're falling flat despite seeing, bubbling success, not actually topping, it's really interesting. Well, they did top a regional, so I am wrong that they would not top this season, but that was in the hands of a very skilled duelist that's been on the channel multiple times. Now, Necros still they're going to keep falling and free falling. Dual power, yes, it's a $30 paywall for a product, but Necros are going to be one of the less sought out things from it versus everything in there, such as the new Link Reigns pack cards that we were supposed to get over a year ago. So I really do think that they're going to flood the market with those things for the longest time. Nightmares, overall, prices are a little surprising, but not really. I just didn't, these crept up on me. They're like $3 solid. Phoenix, of course, ahead of Cerberus. It ends up in a lot more extra decks. It's fire for Salad Boys. And Griffin's been creeping on up over time as well. Ibli's actually down, and I'm surprised because it's being played in current Orcus and will be in future Orcus. So after that initial buyout, the quantities are there. It's held at a higher price than it once was before, but at the same time, going down slowly while it's seeing current play, kind of surprising to me at the same time. Flame Buffalo. Oh man, Flame Buffalo. He's just above $1 now. That's just a point to make. There's so many here, though, that it's not like the quantity is going to skyrocket out of the blue. But do be aware, Salmon Great players are considering this, are using it. It helps you even out stuff. Of course, you get graveyard effects with Salmon Greats. Something to consider for your own gameplay. Salmon Great Sunlight Wolf is now the 5th most expensive card in Savage Strike. Psychic Wielder is falling too. Borreload Savage Dragon falling as the quantities go up. The hype is dying out. Pot of Extravagance also down a couple of dollars. Ooh, Altergeist didn't do so hot. Maybe some of those players are selling those cards to pick up others. And Subterror is still doing pretty well, actually, and a huge representation for them. And then, oh, still up here at 100. But the 5th most expensive card is Sunlight Wolf. A lot of people are asking me what I think. Personally, in my opinion, the special edition is coming. There will be a lot more quantities of them, but I think they're going to stay at $8 or greater. $8 or greater. They just keep going up right now. And even with the resurgence on the market, I think they'll stay above the $8 unless we see like an OTS pack super rare to put some coolant on that, which is a possibility. We could see an OTS super on this or something like that. That was brought up in the live stream last night, and I think it's a pretty good possibility. So also, always in the back of your mind, reprints sooner than later can happen for cards like this. Ghost Reaper and Winter Cherries came up in a lot of discussions during the last live stream, and I do want to point it out as a relatively budget option against Salmon Greats, especially since they're starting to take up such a large cut of the meta top cut. While it kind of doesn't do as well against decks like Thunder Dragons, if they are playing the Fusion, a lot of Thunder Dragon decks are also stepping away from playing the actual Fusion spell card to help you recycle out. So Cherries is starting to become stronger and stronger as the format develops. And the Shiv First Eds are relatively cheap, actually, for what they once were. $7. So if you've been waiting forever to pick up First Ed Originals, thanks to the Advent Calendars, the overall prices have fallen. They're easier to get, but they're still $4 and up because it's such a good card. And we'll see a reprint of this in Dual Power too, won't we? So just something to keep in your mind. I would personally go for First Ed Original for holding value in case it does see play in a meta. Whenever it has, they tend to go up towards $20. I think it's coming. I think it's going to be there. Speaking of older formats where we did see it, Zodiac Whiptail on its like umpteenth buyout, but I also noticed that Chalk9 is up. People have been telling me, ooh, Time Thief Zodiac. I think Zodiac would more so be going up for past formats than anything. I don't think too many people are taking Time Thief Zodiac too seriously in the meta game, and I would hope not, but just a couple of other buyouts that have happened, or some bubbling prices, as it were. The Code Talker, I featured this last night. I was saying it was going to get bought out. It got bought out during streams. Listings got posted since then, and those got bought out too. People really eyeing this, and it's a lot better than I thought it was. Being able to stop so many cards, ranging from Spell and Trap Disruption that would try to interrupt your rank up spell when you're going for the Azathoth play, versus also being able to stop Prankratops and other such things. Like, it stops a myriad of different problems that are coming your way when you're trying to do the rank up combo with your good old Time Thief redoer. So I would definitely suggest having maybe a lower rarity. You know, it's only $1, but the ulti is bought out to the point of 30 on both platforms. And again, I wonder how it will continue to see play through metas. The real ace monster is seeing play in the meta, haha. But it'll be interesting to see how it continues on. True Draco's here, 1350 for Ignis Heat. They saw a lot of representation at the event, and they're just slowly continuing to rise. And Masterpiece, only one printing, you're banned. It's hanging around, hanging in there. But the rest of the deck's super cheap. You can get your Maiden super cheap. Almost anything else at all for it, except for a couple of things like Card Demise. This is actually boggling my mind. Card Demise going up. Yet we have a reprint coming in dual power as well. I know I keep saying dual power, maybe I'm emphasizing its impact too much, but that set's gonna sell out, and it's gonna sell out hard. The question is, will Konami treat it like Legendary Collection Kaiba, where they overprint it, and it really helps weaken the market? But despite that, you see certain cards from Kaiba still sticking up there, so we'll really have to see what it's able to do. The first knockdown, remember, Card Demise was a $30 card. It's nice to see it down a little, but at the same time, how much will it fall? That's the real question for cards that aren't being hunted as heavily out of dual power. And then Hidden City, the Sub-Terra talk, it's still up there. I don't know if it really did fall back in market price. I haven't kept up with this religiously, but it does seem to still be sticking up as an option. It's getting a lot of hype. It made it all the way to the top 8 of the main event at the YCS Dusseldorf 1, and I really think when I picked up the deck, I didn't have the best time. But I think it's probably one of the most powerful stun decks in the format, and I've got to respect that. But at the same time, that Omni-Negate that Salmon Greats get, their counter trap, it makes it difficult for me to think that like this is going to continue to face the horde of Salmon Great structure decks. But what do you guys think of it? Maybe you guys who have tested it heavier. Am I being too harsh on the deck? I personally, maybe it just clashes with how I play, but I did not have a good time playing the deck or testing the deck. What about you guys? How consistent is it? Did I just have a couple of bad hands? Let me know what you think of the Hidden City deck and its consistency through tournaments like these, because it's able to do it, even if it's just, you know, one piercing through out of the 100 played. But what's the reason for so many people picking it up? Is it the Altergeist players moving over? Is it that kind of more their speed and play style? Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Like this video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. And that's a pretty much quicker tempo. Still a lot of cards to cover for Market Watch. You guys have said you've enjoyed this quicker tempo. Let me know if you've been enjoying it as well. Thank you for watching.